Hi, my name is Liz, and I'm really happy you're here today. I'm here to help you learn English in a simple and natural way. But not only that, I want to help you remember words, feel the language, and use English to grow as a person. Because language is not just grammar, language is identity. Language is how we understand life, emotions, and ourselves. So, if you are interested in learning English and at the same time building your personality, finding meaning, and becoming a better version of yourself, then this podcast is for you. And if this topic speaks to you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel because we talk about language, life, balance, and purpose together. Today's question is simple, but very deep. How do I start to find my purpose? Part 1. Feeling lost is not failure. Let me start with something honest. Most people feel lost at some point in their lives. Some feel lost at 18, some at 25, some at 40, and some feel lost many times. Feeling lost does not mean you are weak. It does not mean you failed. It simply means you are awake. When you feel lost, it means you are asking questions. And questions are the beginning of purpose. Many people live their whole lives without asking, why am I here? What do I really want? What kind of person do I want to become? So, if you are listening to this and you feel confused, tired, or unsure, I want you to know something important so you are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. Purpose is not a big answer. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that purpose is one big answer. They think, one day I will wake up and I will know my purpose. One job, one passion, one clear direction. But life doesn't work like that. Purpose is not something you find once. Purpose is something you build slowly. It grows through small choices, small habits, small moments of honesty with yourself. Your purpose today does not have to be your purpose forever. And that is very important to understand. Why so many people feel empty? We live in a world full of noise. Social media tells you who you should be. Society tells you what success looks like. Other people's lives make you question your own. And slowly you stop listening to yourself. You start chasing goals that are not yours. You start comparing your path to someone else's path. You start feeling empty even when you are busy. That emptiness is not a problem. It is a signal. It is your inner voice saying, this is not aligned with who you really are. Purpose begins when you stop running away from that feeling and start listening to it. Self-awareness is the first step. Before you ask, what is my purpose? You need to ask something simpler. Who am I right now? Not who you were in the past. Not who others expect you to be, but who you are today. Ask yourself, what makes me feel calm? What makes me feel alive? What drains my energy? What excites my curiosity? Listening to this and you feel confused, tired, or unsure, I want you to know something important so you are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. Purpose is not a big answer. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that purpose is one big answer. They think, one day I will wake up and I will know my purpose. One job, one passion, one clear direction. But life doesn't work like that. Purpose is not something you find once. Purpose is something you build slowly. It grows through small choices, small habits, small moments of honesty with yourself. Your purpose today does not have to be your purpose forever. And that is very important to understand. Why so many people feel empty? We live in a world full of noise. Social media tells you who you should be. Society tells you what success looks like. Other people's lives make you question your own. And slowly you stop listening to yourself. You start chasing goals that are not yours. You start comparing your path to someone else's path. You start feeling empty even when you are busy. That emptiness is not a problem. It is a signal. It is your inner voice saying, "This is not aligned with who you really are." Purpose begins when you stop running away from that feeling and start listening to it. Self-awareness is the first step. Before you ask, "What is my purpose?" you need to ask something simpler. Who am I right now? Not who you were in the past. Not who others expect you to be, but who you are today. Ask yourself, what makes me feel calm? What makes me feel alive? What drains my energy? What excites my curiosity? These questions are powerful, and this is where learning English can help you. When you learn new words, you learn new ways to describe your emotions. Words like fulfillment, alignment, growth, curiosity, meaning the more words you know, the better you understand yourself. Language shapes thought, and thought shapes purpose. You need direction. Many people wait for motivation. They say, "I'll start when I feel motivated. I'll change when I feel ready." But motivation is unstable. It comes and goes. Purpose does not come from motivation. It comes from direction. Direction means taking one small step, even when you are unsure, even when you are afraid. You don't need a full plan. You just need the next honest step. That step might be learning a new skill, improving your English, journaling your thoughts, saying no to what feels wrong. Small actions create clarity. Clarity creates confidence. Confidence creates purpose. Purpose and identity. Purpose is connected to identity. You don't find purpose by asking, "What should I do?" You find it by asking, "Who am I becoming?" Every habit you build is a vote for the person you are becoming. When you choose to learn English, you are becoming someone who invests in growth. When you listen to podcasts like this, you are becoming someone who reflects, thinks, and evolves. And that matters. Your purpose is not separate from who you are. It grows from you. A simple exercise for you. Let me give you a small exercise. Take a moment after this podcast and write one sentence. I feel most alive when I am. Don't overthink it. Don't try to be perfect. Just be honest. That sentence is a starting point. We talked about feeling lost, self-awareness, and listening to yourself. Now I want to go deeper, because purpose is not something abstract. It is not far away. It is not waiting for you in the future. Purpose is built inside your daily life. Most people think purpose is something big, a big dream, a big job, a big success. But real purpose is often very quiet. It lives in how you start your morning, how you speak to yourself, how you use your time, how you grow even when no one is watching. If you don't feel purpose in your daily life, you won't feel it anywhere else. Your habits are your hidden identity. Let me tell you something important. You are not defined by your goals. You are defined by your habits. Your habits show what you value, what you avoid, who you are becoming. You might say you want purpose, growth, and meaning, but your habits tell the truth. Ask yourself honestly, how do I spend my free time? What do I consume every day? What do I practice consistently? Habits are small, but they are powerful. A person who reads a little every day is becoming a learner. A person who practices English every day is becoming confident, open, and global. Purpose grows from repetition. Language shapes your inner voice. This is where language becomes very important. The way you speak inside your mind changes the way you see your life. If your inner voice says, "I'm lost," "I'm not good enough," "I'm too late," your world becomes smaller. But when you learn new words, you unlock new perspectives. Words like progress, patience, direction, resilience, self-respect. When you say, "I am learning," I am growing. I am in progress. Your brain starts to believe it. Learning English is not only learning a language, it is learning how to talk to yourself differently. And that can change everything. Purpose comes from doing, not thinking. Many people overthink their purpose. They analyze, they worry, they wait. But purpose does not come from thinking. It comes from doing. You don't need to know your purpose to start. You start and purpose follows. Clarity comes after action, not before. Take small actions. Write 1 page. Learn 5 new words. Record your voice. Help one person. Action creates feedback. Feedback creates understanding. Understanding creates direction. Stop comparing your path. Comparison is one of the biggest enemies of purpose. When you compare your life to others, you disconnect from your own journey. Someone else's success is not a map for your life. They have different values, different timing, different struggles. Your purpose will not look like theirs, and that is okay. Purpose is personal. It is unique. It is human. The moment you stop comparing, you start listening again. Moment for you. Let's pause for a moment. Ask yourself this question. What small action feels right for me right now? Not what feels impressive. Not what others expect. Just what feels honest. That action is connected to your purpose. Trust small steps. They know the way. Purpose is not pressure. One more important thing. Purpose should not feel like pressure. It should feel like alignment. Yes, it can be challenging. Yes, it can be uncomfortable. But deep inside, it feels right. If something makes you feel empty, anxious, and disconnected for a long time, that is not your purpose. Purpose energizes you, even when it is difficult. In the first parts, we talked about feeling lost, daily habits, and small actions. Now we move to something deeper. Because purpose is not only about what you do. It is about who you are becoming. Many people ask the wrong question. They ask, what should I do with my life? But a more powerful question is, who do I want to become? When you focus only on doing, you feel pressure. You feel lost. You feel afraid of choosing the wrong path. But when you focus on becoming, your path starts to shape itself naturally. You are always becoming someone. Whether you are aware of it or not, you are becoming someone every day. Every choice you make, every habit you repeat, every thought you believe is shaping your identity. You are not stuck. You are not broken. You are not late. You are simply in the process of becoming. And this process does not need to be perfect. It needs to be honest. Before purpose, let me say something very important. If you don't know who you are, you will never feel connected to what you do. Many people chase careers, money, or success, but they feel empty inside. Why? Because their actions are not aligned with their identity. Purpose feels meaningful when your actions reflect who you truly are. That is why identity comes first. Purpose comes after. How language builds identity. This is where language becomes powerful again. The words you use to describe yourself slowly become your identity. If you say, I am lost, I am weak, I am not enough, your mind accepts that story. But when you change your language, you change your identity. When you say, I am learning, I am becoming, I am in progress, you give yourself space to grow. Learning English helps you do this consciously. It gives you new words, new ways to explain your feelings, and new ways to understand yourself. Language is not just communication. Language is self-creation. Purpose is not found in the future. Many people think purpose is waiting for them in the future. They say, when I succeed, I will feel meaningful. When I arrive, I will feel fulfilled. But purpose does not live in the future. It lives in the present moment. Purpose is not a destination. It is a direction. It is the feeling that what you are doing now matches who you are becoming. You don't need to know everything. One of the biggest fears people have is choosing the wrong path. But let me tell you something comforting. You don't need to know everything to move forward. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need certainty. You don't need permission. You only need curiosity, honesty, willingness to grow. When you take a step that matches your values, even if it is small, your identity becomes clearer. And when identity becomes clearer, purpose follows naturally. Stop waiting for confidence. Many people say, "I'll start when I feel confident." But confidence is not the beginning. Confidence is the result. You build confidence by showing up, practicing, learning, failing, and continuing. Every time you act in alignment with who you want to become, you strengthen your identity. And strong identity creates purpose. A moment of reflection. Take a quiet moment after this episode and ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to become in the next year? Not what you want to achieve, not what others expect, just who you want to be. More patient, more disciplined, more curious, more kind to yourself? Your answers are clues. Purpose is a relationship with yourself. Purpose is not pressure. It is not stress. It is not anxiety. Purpose is a relationship with yourself. It is learning to trust your inner voice. It is respecting your values. It is choosing growth over fear. And this relationship takes time. Be patient with yourself. If this episode made you think, reflect, or feel less alone, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and stay with me on this journey, because the next videos will help you grow your English, understand yourself more deeply, and build a balanced life step by step. By subscribing, you are not just supporting the channel, you are choosing to invest in yourself, your mindset, and your future. And in the upcoming episodes, we will talk about real tools, simple habits, and powerful ideas that can truly change the way you think and live. So don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and join this community. Because what we are building here is not just content. It is a space for growth, clarity, and purpose.